Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. As you guys can see here, we're not working on the G80 or the 2002. This is probably a car that you may have seen in the background of some of my videos, but I've never actually introduced you guys to this vehicle that we have here in the family. So this is a 2021 BMW X3 M40i. Yes, it does have the B58 motor in it, which is the same motor as the M240i, as well as the Toyota Supra Mark V. And so I basically have a little Supra. Just kidding. So in all seriousness, this is the perfect little SUV, makes good power. It's obviously not super huge. It is an X3, but this is a perfect daily driver car. It actually reminds me very much of my F30 335i that I had several years back, just a slightly bigger version. Very reliable motor with the B58, makes plenty of power, like 385, and yeah, so it's utilitarian car. It's kind of, you know, got the extra room, it's got the hatchback. We can fit a baby in here very easily, and so yeah, so we've had this now for since May, I believe. So about 6-7 months, something in that range. And obviously, beautiful color. This is Phytonic blue with black leather interior. So again, this is a 2021 model. Got about 25,000 miles on it now. And I'd say the car is generally stock. As you guys can see, it's got some black stock wheels, red brakes. I did throw on some spacers just to stance it out a little bit. Additionally, it does have the black kidney grills from factory, color matched side mirrors from factory, window tint. Car's been paint corrected and does have PPF and C-Quartz professional ceramic coating. The only other modification I guess I did was color matched front bumper reflectors, but generally speaking, I would say that this car is pretty stock, but we're about to change that in today's video. All right, so with that being said, we are going to throw some mods on the car. This is the wife's car. She is actually out of town, so I'm going to take this opportunity to install some parts from Keys Motorsports. Again, they are a huge supporter of the channel, and if you're looking for parts for your BMW, your Supra, what have you, look no further at keysmotorsports.com. But today, as you guys can see, I've got a box here with a Dahler piggyback tune in it. So huge thanks again to the team over at Keys Motorsports, as well as Dahler, for supplying me with a piggyback tune to make this car a little bit more fun. All right, so before I actually show you what the piggyback tune looks like, I just kind of want to talk about tuning a little bit. So you've got a couple different options when it comes to tuning these cars. You can do a full flash tune, or you can do a piggyback. So the piggyback is the easiest of the two. It's also the cheaper route. And again, this is a 2021 model. So if you have a post June 2020 BMW, you are going to have to send your DME, your car's computer, the ECU, over to Femto over in Finland in order to get it unlocked in order to do a flash tune, which is exactly what I did on the G80. There's benefits to doing that. It's, you know, we've got the opportunity to do boot mode or MHD or a full flash tune where it gives you the full capabilities of tuning the car and changing timing, not just increasing the boost. But I will say piggybacks, I've used them in the past. They're also really great. So the Dahler tune that we're going to be putting on the X3 here is going to be a piggyback. It's going to be a super easy install. The cost is lower than obviously sending out your ECU to Finland and the car being down. This is a much easier option, completely plug and play. It's also super easy to uninstall if you have to go to the dealership for any reason. But it's gonna be awesome. And so what's really great about this is it's, you know, a couple plugs, very simple install, maybe 20 minutes long, and we get an extra 50-60 horsepower plus another 60-70 foot-pounds of torque. So this thing is going to move. It already moves pretty good. Like I said, it's stock at like 385 horsepower, so this should be easily over 400 after we put the tune on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to install it, but first let's go ahead and unbox it and show you all what comes in the package. All right, so this is what to expect if you order a tune from Dahler. So they also do make tunes for the S58 as well. So if you have a G80 and you don't want to do the full femto unlock process and you want a piggyback tune, Dahler is a really, really great option. So this is the actual piggyback module itself. So again, this is going to be for the B58, and as you guys can see here, comes with some instructions here for the B58 engine. So this is good for the G42, G2X. This is obviously good for the B58 here in the M40i. Here's the entire complete wiring harness. So V12 and bypass for the B58 engine. This is for a pre-LCI model, but just want to show you guys what it all looks like. They give you some basic kind of instructions on how to install, and here's going to be the full guide. And what I also really like about this option is the fact that if you wanted to, you could easily remove the tune without taking all of the wiring and everything out of the car. If you want to put it back on a stock map, all you would need to do is take this little bypass here and plug it in place instead of the actual tuning module. You plug this in, basically all it does is re-loops all of the wiring, all the electronics, and it brings the whole car back to stock. Additionally, what I also like about this is that you can actually download an app for your mobile device, and you can operate the tune and change it between a couple different modes. You've got comfort, sport, and race. If you choose to not download the app, that's totally fine too, because it comes standard with the race version, so it'll be the fastest option right out of the gate here. And so you do have the ability to download the tuning software on your phone if you wanted it. But as you can see, it's just a big wiring harness. So I've done JB4 in the past with other vehicles and other piggyback tunes, top access port, and it's all relatively the same kind of process. So you can see that we've got a couple of different plugs here. Everything's really labeled, which is really helpful. It's pretty obvious what they go to here. So this is going to be a boost sensor number 1. This is going to be boost sensor number 2. So one's going to be on the charge pipe side, I believe, and one is going to be kind of on the other side. So I'll have to go through and figure out which one goes where. We obviously also have a camshaft sensor, a couple plugs for that, and then we do have the power and grounding wires here as well. So I'm gonna take you guys through the install process. Again, it shouldn't be very difficult. It should be a pretty relatively quick installation, and we're gonna make this car a little bit faster and more fun. All right, so if you haven't seen a stock B58, this is what it looks like. So basically what we need to do first is pull off the engine cover. You're just going to pull straight up on it. Let's see if I can get this one-handed here. So a nice big engine cover here. And the crazy thing about the B58 motor is that there are a ton of wires here already kind of all over the place. So no one's going to be the wiser looking at this, because all of these stock plugs are all covered and protected in the same type of material as the Dahler. So it's all going to match really easily, but we've got a couple sensors here we need to unplug, over here, over there, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to route everything and hide it all over here in this little cavity. So we need to go ahead and remove this, and well, basically it's going to be a lot of kind of wire maintenance and just keeping it clean. We've got the positive terminal here. We also have a ground area that we will ground the ground wire to, and then what we're going to do is route the other cables up over here and down and into their corresponding sensors. So pretty simple install. After removing the engine cover, we're going to come over here and remove this cover here. So go ahead and turn this to the unlock, and you're basically just going to pick it up pull it out. And so back down here is where the module will actually sit and live. And so it's a good opportunity to clean all the leaves out of there. All right, so just kind of looking at the instructions here and looking at the motor, I went ahead and brought over the wiring harness for the Dahler. And so basically what we're gonna do, it's gonna be a lot of wire maintenance, but you can see I've got this end going over here. I'm just trying to figure out where everything goes. I'm going to actually route my wiring through this passageway underneath here. So our positive is going to go there. I'm going to find a ground in this general area. So that means that these two wires, the power and ground, will stay on this side. These other three will come this way. And so what we've got here is number 1 is going to be the boost sensor. So this one is going to come this way. We're going to navigate it down this cavity over here. This is going to plug in right here. And so this is going to be a 4-prong. You'll see that there's 4 wires, so this is where that one goes. So we're basically going to unplug the factory connector here, plug it into the Dahler side, and then plug the other wire, because each one of these wires has 2 coming out of it. So this is going to now plug into the sensor here. The old sensor is going to plug back into this, so that's going to take care of that side. Number 2 is going to be this one here. I'm sorry. Number 2 is going to be the purple one here. This is a boost sensor that comes up to the charge pipe to this one. So same idea. This is a 3-wire right here. So we're going to go ahead and unplug this, plug this in its place, plug this one back into here. And then the third one is going to be this one here. This is going to be a camshaft sensor, which is this one. So same idea, unplug the factory one, plug it into the Dahler, plug the Dahler in back into the camshaft sensor. So just to make my wiring a little bit nicer, what I'm doing here is I'm actually removing these 2 clips. So there's a clip right here and a clip on this side. So I just took a flathead screwdriver, basically propped up this center piece right here and pulled out the clip. So I pulled 2 of them out. That way it kind of gives me the ability to pull this back, and I'm going to run my wires all through this cavity and then down and around and over. Back over here on the plug, you're going to take a little flathead screwdriver here. You're going to unlock it just like that, and then take your little flathead and kind of prop it up in there, just kind of like that, and push at the same time, and it should come out. Try to do this one-handed here. There, just like that. So now that one's unplugged. So this is going to be number 1. So your wiring harness for number 1, which is going to be here. And so what we're going to do is going to plug this in. So what we're going to do here is take the existing plug from the factory, we're going to plug it into the Dahler until it clips into place. So this is a 4-prong, so it's going to go in just like that, and then you lock it down. And then on this side of the Dahler, we're going to plug it back in, just line it up, plug it in, clips in, push it, lock it in place. And so now it's just a matter of wire maintenance. We're going to put the wires back here, kind of route it around. So we're going to do that on the other 2 as well. So as you guys can see here, I've got everything plugged in and kind of routed my wiring so it's all nice and tidy and clean. And you just want to make sure that you want to be able to get your engine cover back on, so you want to avoid, you know, this little spot here where it clips into the engine cover, one back there. So there's a couple on here that you need to be aware of, one over here. So as long as everything is out of the way, you should be good to go. So you guys can see that my wiring goes back here. I did unplug a couple other things just to tuck the wires behind, and I wired them actually behind these cables and over, and same thing over here. This one, I disconnected this one and tucked the wire underneath and ran it across. So everything's nice and tidy. What we need to do now is find the power and ground. And so what I did was I pulled this cover off of the power. So this, as long as you prop that up, you should be able to get the cover off just like that. Now we're ready to actually connect the positive. So I went ahead and removed the cover off of this. And what we're gonna do is disconnect the positive terminal here. Then we'll connect the positive, the red wire here, and retighten that. And then on your negative side, you wanna make sure you get a nice proper ground. Don't connect it to the battery or anything, any of these terminals over here. We're going to find a ground, and this is a good example right here, down in this spot. So all you need to do is unscrew that, put that in its place, tighten it back up, and we should be good to go there. So this terminal here for the positive is going to be a T50. So we're just going to go ahead and disconnect. We don't need to take it completely off, but we need to be able to slide the positive cable down in here onto it. So I'm actually going to come this way with it. And we'll do some wire maintenance here after we've got this connected. So just make sure you're in there all the way. You can go ahead and retighten. Make sure it doesn't move on you. Okay, so that one's that. And then we'll take the negative and we're gonna go under this. And like I said before, we're going to remove this. This is another Torx. We might have to move this intake out of the way in order to unscrew this so that we can mount the grounding wire. And just to make our lives a little easier, since it's pretty difficult to get back in here, we're actually going to remove this intake box out of the way. So what we're going to do, we've already taken this screw out. This is a 16 millimeter, and then this is an 18 millimeter. So we'll remove this little strut brace and then pop the air box up. Okay, so that's the 18. Now we can go ahead and pick that thing up, get it out of the way, and we should be able to remove the air box. Just have to lift it up. We might be able to lift it up and out of the way, but we might have to remove the entire thing. Okay, so all I did was I pulled up on the air intake box just to kind of push it out of the way. That's just held in by a couple of these grommets down there. And then I took a T45 and just unscrewed it. As you guys can see, nice and loose. Again, we don't need to take it fully out. We just need to take it out enough to run the ground back in there and then tighten it back up. So that's how it should look, nice and tight, and then we can do some wire maintenance. Okay, finally, everything looks nice and tidy. Got a couple zip ties on here just to kind of clean it up. I went ahead and I put my two little clips, plastic clips back in here. I've got plenty of clearance here to put this little tray back on. So now what we need to do is finally connect the actual Dahler module. This will plug right in, and then obviously what we can do is secure this to the back of the firewall just so it doesn't move around. And we can use some Velcro or zip ties, whatever the case may be. Obviously we've got some little rings here. We can zip tie it if we need to, just so it's not moving around while we're driving down the road. But yeah, and once again, this is going to be in the from factory settings on this thing is going to be in race mode, which is basically where we want it. But I do recommend downloading the app. So in the instructions, they give you a little QR code, and you can download the app, and that way you can operate it and change it from your phone on the fly if you want to. But having that ability is super nice. But yeah, as you guys can see, everything's nice and tidy, and we're gonna go ahead and plug this in. All right, so here is the cable here, and here is the module. Just need to clip it in until it clicks into place, and now we can mount this back here out of sight, out of mind, and make sure it's not moving around. So this is gonna be a little bit hard to see, but the Dahler is down in there. You're not gonna see it from this angle. Kind of see it right there. So what I did was I put some double-sided tape on one side, and the Dahler actually has a little button on the top of the module that you'll need access to in order to push. If you are going to download the app, you want to be able to push those little two buttons to pair it to your phone. But other than that, the install is virtually complete. Everything's nice and tidy, and I can go ahead and put the engine cover back on and put that little cover back on, and we are good to go. Okay, so we did some wire maintenance, and as you guys can see, we've got the engine cover back on. Everything's nice and tidy. This is tightened here on the positive, this is tightened here on the negative. Everything's connected, and we should be able to reconnect the battery in the trunk, and then we can take it for a little test drive. Okay, this is initial startup. Should feel exactly like stock, should sound like stock, just with a nice bump in power. All right, so these are kind of initial reactions here. It's definitely got some oomph to it. We'll do a dead stop, kind of a launch. For an SUV, it's pretty good. I feel like I hear a little bit more induction or turbo noise. It definitely has more oomph to it, like down low. The upper end is a little lacking, I think, but it's definitely quicker than it was. So this gives an extra 56, up to 56 horsepower. I'm in Sport Plus right now. Do this again real quick, just quick launch. So I'm just holding my foot on the brake and giving it some gas. Yep, moves pretty good. Not bad.
Did good.
Okay, initial thoughts.
It's faster.
Yeah, definitely faster. It's got some down low pickup, especially from a launch.
Yeah.
I think, kind of in the upper RPM range, it's lacking a little bit, but again, this is only 50 horsepower difference over stock and completely plug and play. You don't have to send the ECU in to Femto or anything like that. So quick, easy install.
Yep.
And
Didn't take long at all.
didn't take too long. So stay tuned. We've got more videos to come. We're actually going to be putting intakes on this car next. So watch that video after this. Take care. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.